Well Together podcast. Welcome to Well Together podcast. In each episode, inspiring conversations from wellness experts will guide you towards a better life. If you are ready, let's start our healthy life journey. In this episode,
we are at TheLifeCo Bodrum, and our mic is placed in front of Melisa, our meditation guide at the facility. She enriches our understanding of what meditation is, and more importantly, what it is not. Ever wondered about training your attention? Want to unravel the misunderstandings surrounding being in the now? Curious about the logic of proper meditation? Then settle, relax, and join Melisa for the answers.
Hello everyone, my name is Melisa. At TheLifeCo Bodrum, I work as a meditation guide and I also contribute for the content that we create for mental wellness area. And today our topic is what not is meditation. And we will start speaking about first what meditation is, and then we will delve deep into the misconceptions about meditation or anything that people mix with or mistaken with what is or what is not meditation. So maybe our first question could be what meditation means. As a word, it means to focus on something or to contemplate something. That's why it's actually a very generic and sort of almost an empty word when we don't say on what we are meditating. Now, if the definition is to focus on or to contemplate something, it actually means that we can meditate on anything we could ever imagine. Meditation is a practice that is most of the time done in the context of mental well-being, mental balance, mental health, or I love the term saying mental fitness. Meditation is a word that serves as an umbrella term that contains various disciplines and methods for calming the mind. And it was so since the beginnings of civilization. And now we can point to a very big misconception that is naturally occurring, but we can make it clear that meditation is not at all a new age nonsense. I know it's a very infamous word of the New Age movement that we are globally exposed to since the beginning of the 2000s. But meditation is actually an ancient science that was coupled with yoga and we can say with the asanas. People are practicing the asanas, the yoga postures to prepare the body for meditation for maybe more than 4,000 years. So it's an ancient practice for quieting the mind. When meditation as a practice is done in the context of mental fitness, what we focus on most of the time is the right now. And then we can come to the concept that is also largely misunderstood by masses. I can say, what does living in the now mean? First and foremost, that's very crucial to make it clear that living in the now does not at all mean to live outside the past and the future. That's firstly not a healthy picture at all. Second, that's not realistic. And third, it's not possible actually because we have those time frames in our lives. Past, we could say, is what makes us us, or we learn from the past to live better in the now. Or about the future, of course we have a future that has not taken place right now, but we have good intentions about. So those time frames do exist. Living in the now, rather, means that the mind, in a very healthy way, contains all of the time frames together, but belongs to the right now most of the time, among all other time frames. A mind that belongs to the right now most of the time eventually means that it's balanced with our body. Because when we look at it, our body is always and only a part of a certain right now. Actually, our bodies cannot exist in any other time frame, which is not the now. And that's not the case for the mind at all. It can go anywhere it wants. It can do anything it wants. It can be at any time frame it wants. Our mind is abstract, unlike our concrete body. So if we are talking about the balance between the mind and the body, which we can also name the well-being of ours, is only possible when we have them in balance. And for that, the only option for us left is to take that mind to the limits of the right now where the body exists. So if we link these two topics together, proper meditation, I should say, is done to balance the mind and the body, to cultivate a present-oriented mind. So what is proper meditation? Proper meditation, we can say, is simple attention training. Attention training is something really very, very neuroscientific. Every time we try to take the attention back to the limits of that moment, we actually inch by inch break the automatic functionings of how the attention behaves. We break how the attention behaves once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, and then we slowly begin to create a new norm for the attention to function within the limits of the right now, more than in the past and in the future. And here we already come to another misconception. To do meditation, our mind does not have to be free of thoughts. Sounds very intriguing, I know. Let's delve into that. The nature of the mind is to produce thoughts. And our minds did produce thoughts, is producing thoughts, and will be producing thoughts. It is what our minds are made for. For me to ask from a mind not to think is the same as me asking you to live without breathing. That much of an unrealistic expectation from the mind. If we have to expect something from somebody in this exercise, it is actually not from the mind to be quiet or free from thoughts, but it's from us to accept that our mind is not empty at all. Our mind is habitually more than necessarily fast-paced producing thoughts. Yes, that could be a problem. But for that to decrease, for that to diminish, it is us who is responsible for unserving the mind. In meditation, what is quieting the mind means clearly not to think that our mind is demanding us to think something. And we are always in a serving state to our minds. Our minds want something and we think that. During proper meditation, we have to begin unserving the mind. Think of it as if you are walking barefoot on the sand and near you there is sea. As you walk forward, you will feel that the waves touch your feet. But do you stop and analyze each wave that touches your feet? I don't think so. The same with meditation. As you close your eyes, as you relax your muscles, as you deepen your breath. Yes, in meditation, it is a mental exercise, but before your mind, it's first your body and your breath that you want to bring into a state of stillness with the sole purpose to provide your mind with the necessary space to relax. Okay, so you sat in meditation, you relaxed your whole body, your face became mimicless 100%, your breath is now deeper and easier, and now you can realize your thoughts maybe even running faster than day to day. And what are you doing? Are you serving those thoughts? Or are you behaving? Are you becoming more able each time to just realize your thoughts like the waves of the sea that touches your feet and just walk your way forward? I know what I'm thinking, but I'm not putting my attention on it. What I'm doing is attention training, and I will train my attention on something that is not my thoughts. So what to put our attention on? Our attention has two places to be and nowhere else. The attention is either in the mind with the thoughts, which is most of the time the case anyway, or outside of the mind with the senses. So when you realize that you're thinking something, no matter what, when you realize your mind is busy producing thoughts, it is you that will take your own attention from inside your mind to outside your mind, to your senses, to what your body is experiencing. That's what mindfulness is actually. And it could well be done eyes closed or eyes open. Another definition of meditation is that it's two things. One is the bigger definition and the other is the smaller definition. Smaller definition is meditation is a mental exercise. Bigger definition is that meditation is a mental state. It's a mental quality through which we live life. And the exercise is solely done to contribute in the cultivation of that mental state where the mind is present-oriented. Another question to put into our discussion. Are there any specific practices or techniques that are often mistaken for meditation? Why is it important to differentiate between them? What I encounter most of the time, and it's actually a very basic practice that is being done under some groups of practitioners that lead to meditation being largely misunderstood. Proper meditation overall does not include likening ourselves to butterflies or clouds or anything. Those are very abstract scenarios. And we are humans. We have two legs, we have two arms, we have emotions. We cannot fly, we are on the earth. Proper meditation is a very grounded understanding that we are humans. We have both pleasant and unpleasant sides. We have both beautiful and uncomfortable emotions. And every day the scenario for our minds can be different. So unlike feeling like butterflies, we can really feel like a non-moving object in the scenery that we are meditating. Just like a chair is, just like a book is, just like a shoe is, or just like a curtain is. As stable as they are. Another very big misconception that we just spoke about is the mind being empty. We said that's not possible. We don't want the mind to be empty because then there's no life for us. As long as we're living, as long as we're breathing, the mind conducts its nature and produces thoughts. As we said again, and it's important to repeat, it is us to unserve the mind. Of course, for everyone, there could be various definitions of meditation, assumptions of meditation, expectations about meditation. It's a very specific personal area. And of course, every one of us can have individual approaches towards meditation, whether it's misconceived or perfectly right. But the main question is, there are some potential consequences or negative effects, we could say, destructive effects of practicing something that isn't meditation. Well, the most practical consequence could be that you cannot practice meditation. Let's take, for instance, the most general misconception, the mind free of thoughts. If you think that your mind should be free of thoughts before you even begin meditation, that couldn't be really a very accessible concrete self-help or self-care tool for you as a practice. Your expectation is so high, and not only that, but also unrealistic, that you define for yourself an arrival point that you can never arrive, for your mind will never be free of thoughts. Let's have a metaphor here, because meditation as a skill cannot become something that you can easily practice with unrealistic expectations. It is simply a learning process, nothing different than you learning how to bike or learning a new foreign language or learning to play the piano. Let's take the piano example. Think that you never sat on a piano to play, and one day, if possible, you want to play the Mozart. Can I put in front of you the notes for Mozart on the first day that you ever sat on the piano? That would be not really helpful, no? Not really encouraging for you to learn how to play the piano. If I put in front of you the simplest beginning phase of learning how to play the piano, that would be encouraging, and that would be real for you to have a good learning process. Now back to meditation. As you begin meditating, you start with your body and breath relaxed first, even before your mind relaxes. And Mozart for meditation is the Zen mind, the already relaxed mind, not a mind that is forced to be relaxed, a mind that eventually becomes quiet because you don't answer it. And we can close today's session with a last, possibly good question about some insights on how understanding what meditation isn't can help all of us cultivate a more meaningful and effective meditation practice. If we give up expecting the non-possible, if we really accept that our mind is really busy and we want to teach it not just how to do, but also how to be sometimes. And this is primarily important, that as we start meditation, if we make our purpose about the practice purposelessness, then we open up a great vast area for us to practice meditation properly and in an easy flow. You are sitting, walking, lying down, any physical position is available. For actually, we said meditation is not only an exercise, but a state for the mind. So as you begin to relax, especially your face, your tongue, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyelids, your lips, your teeth, your whole face, with the sole purpose to really soften your skull physically, so that you open up space for your mind to relax, your brain to relax. So first your face is becoming mimicless. Then your breath. You want your exhale become longer than your inhale before you even take care of what your mind is doing, or your conscious mind, let's say, your attention. Keep in mind that you have nowhere to arrive in this exercise. You have nothing to achieve really in this exercise. You have nothing to really be in this exercise. Gift yourself that you can keep all of your versions of doings outside of your meditation practice. And feel free to just be with a mimicless body, with a deep breath, and only then see what your mind is doing. Thank you for listening. Stay well, and I hope to see you soon again.
Well Together Podcast. Inspiring stories from the LifeCo.
Let's listen Tenzin Josh, a mental health expert and former student of the Dalai Lama. He gives valuable insights on how to change our mental habits.
We talk about habits on 3 different levels. There's physical habits, verbal habits, and mental habits. But the most important level of habits is mental habits. Why is that? Because if we look at the physical habits and we look at the verbal habits, and we ask where they're coming from, they're all originating from mental habits. So the most important level to change habits or work with habits is on the mental level. The habit is always a negative habit at least, is always the unskillful way. It's the reaction way. It's one you've built up over many times of doing it again and again. Only way to change that habit, to start to react in a different way, or to change the habits into more positive ones, is to give yourself the mental space to change your intention. So change the intentions in your life. Intention in general is so important. When you get up in the morning, your intention for the day, is my intention just to have a holiday, or is my intention just to eat, or is my intention just to drink, or is my intention to do something meaningful? Is it to learn something, or to help somebody, or to make a change in the world? The result of your intention comes about from that basic intention. Very classic example, you can do a 5 minutes meditation. If you do that meditation with the intention of feeling relaxed at the end of it, you'll be relaxed for 5 minutes at the end of it. But that's it, it's finished. But if you do the same 5 minutes meditation with the thought that through this meditation my mind will get better and I'll be able to work with my habits and change my habits, then it'll work as long as you need to change your habits, which might be your whole life. Or if you do the same 5 minutes meditation, but you do it with the intention of improving yourself to help every other living being, which is an enormous intention, because there's limitless numbers of living beings, then of course your intention never finishes. The results of your intention never finish until you've helped everybody. So the intention in your mind determines the way you habitually live your life. So the real source or the real root of changing your habits is to change your intentions. Make your intentions more positive, and then what follows on from those intentions becomes more positive as well.
Well Together Podcast.
Are you ready to create the best version of yourself? Your transformation journey starts at TheLifeCo. With over 18 years of experience, TheLifeCo Wellbeing is committed to helping you achieve optimal health and well-being with a unique range of programs and retreats. Holistic well-being experiences that promote longevity and meaning in your life await you at the TheLifeCo centers in Bodrum, Antalya, and Phuket. Visit thelifeco.com today to start your wellness journey.
Next episode of the Well Together podcast.
The power of the creative cycle and the menstrual cycle.
Thank you for listening Well Together podcast.